Hi guys! Today's video is going to be a foundation test of the new Rare Beauty Positive Light Tinted Moisturiser. I bought this like a month or two ago when it first came out in Australia because I was super excited to try it, and it has just been sitting in a box on the floor of my room because I've had all this other stuff I wanted to film first. So here we are, finally doing this. I was so excited when this product launched because I absolutely love like light foundations, like things that don't feel like you're wearing foundation at all. It's like my favorite type of foundation at the moment, and it has been for like the last over a year, ever since I discovered the CoverGirl Skin Milk foundation. That is what started it for me. That just, it felt so comfortable on my skin. And then last year, and like for most of this year so far, I have been obsessed with the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop foundation, which is just stunning. So I am so excited to give this a go. I'm hoping I love it. I'm hoping I'm not disappointed, because I would be so sad if I am, because like I'm just so excited. You might be able to tell I am a bit sick at the moment. I'm actually a lot better than I have been the past few days. I got sinusitis a few days ago, and that's like always a horrible experience for me. I get it quite a bit. I actually haven't had it in a while, surprisingly. When I started getting tonsillitis, I stopped getting sinusitis for some reason, which was super weird. But apparently now that my tonsils are gone, my sinusitis is back. So fun times. Also, I apologize if you can hear the weather outside. It is an absolutely horrible day here today in Melbourne. Like, it's pouring with rain. It is so windy. The sky is grey. I'm pretty sure it hailed before as well. So if you can hear all of these background noises, it is the outside world. Also, I, as always, am starting late in the day. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, maybe almost 2:30. So this isn't going to be like a long foundation review, but I wanted to give you one all the same. I've wanted to try this product for the whole time that I've had it, and it's just been sitting in my box waiting to film this video. This is the first impressions as well, which, you know, I'm always so good at my first impressions of things. So it'll be interesting to see if it changes, but also I have been wanting to wear this foundation to work, so I'm super excited to finally try it out today. So I'm hoping I love it, and then I'm hoping I can start wearing it to work every day, but we'll see what happens. I've already popped on a primer today. Also, I'm having like really decent pimples at the moment, like really big ones. So I've got like, this one's going away, this one's going away, but this bad boy is coming up, and this is like scarring from one I had like a few weeks ago. And this one, I got that before I got my tonsils out, which has almost been 2 months, and it is still here. I swear, as you get older, pimple scars take so long to heal. I feel like when I was a teenager, they went away within like 2 weeks, and now I'm like 2 months on and it's still here. And I didn't even squeeze this one. Like, I usually squeeze my pimples. This one was like a blind pimple that I kept putting pimple patches on, so I didn't even get to squeeze it, and now it's just like this red spot. So, you know, I don't know if not squeezing pimples is much better. I'm probably completely wrong, to be honest with you. Like, I squeezed this one, I squeezed this one. So we'll see. They're probably never going to go away now. But anyway, let's get into this foundation review. It'll be interesting to see how well it covers like these pimples as well. Also, as I said before, I have a cold, so I'm very much expecting the foundation not to last on my nose, because I probably will be blowing it a lot today. So you can't count this area as like a good test of this foundation, because it's probably going to disappear completely because I'm going to be constantly rubbing it throughout the day. Despite all of that, I still wanted to film this video today, so hopefully everywhere else on my face gives us a good idea of how good this foundation is, or this tinted moisturizer, whatever you want to call it. So as I said before, this is the Rare Beauty Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer. I got mine in the shade 16C, which is a shade that's supposed to match the foundation that I got when I first bought the Rare Beauty foundation that they released, like they first released. I think it's the Liquid Touch foundation. I think that's what it's called. So I think I got 160C in that, so this one's 16C. I think if you go on their website, they have like what matches what, I'm pretty sure. I think that's how I figured it out. I'm not 100% sure. But it is a weightless tinted moisturizer that instantly blows and hydrates the skin with light to medium coverage and a natural finish, which all things that I love. I probably need more than like light to medium coverage on these bad boys at the moment, but to be honest with you, I tend to go for like light to medium coverage. That's what I like putting on my skin, because I feel like for me, those are the things that I don't feel as much. And like I said before, I love things that just, it doesn't feel like you're wearing makeup. So I'll probably like this, even if you could see my pimples through. Like, I don't think it's really gonna bother me, but I know that can bother people, so if it bothers you, it bothers you. That's completely fair enough. Also, in America and other places around the world, I'm pretty sure this tinted moisturizer actually has SPF 15 in it, but in Australia it's actually really hard to get SPF like passed, so I don't think they're allowed to market it as having any like SPF benefits within it in Australia. So I'm not sure if this bottle or the packaging will look different to what it looks like in your country. It's just because it's very, very difficult to get things passed in Australia that have like sunscreen in them. I'm going to be popping this on today with the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Foundation brush, which is probably my favorite foundation brush to use. I've actually recently gotten back into using sponges a lot, but I like using sponges with more fuller coverage foundation because I find that it shears it out and gives it a much more natural look on your skin, which I've actually been really enjoying. But I find when I use them with lighter foundation products like this, it doesn't actually put the product on well for me. At least with the ones that I've tried, it's more soaked up the product than put it on my skin. Like maybe because it's already a light coverage, it's just sheared it out too much for what I like. So I'm just gonna use a brush today to pop this on. Okay, I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand and then dab it on with my fingers. Ooh, it's very liquidy. Oh, yeah, it's kind of thick. Usually with products like this, I'll draw it on my face, but I'm very afraid that I'm gonna get it on my chair right now because I haven't used it before. That looks like a good match. I feel like that's not enough. We'll see. I might have to add more considering I haven't put any on my forehead yet. Okay, let's see how we go. That's not enough. Anyway. I'm so good at this, guys. I just realized as well I was going to try and do half my face. Let me just grab this. Okay guys, so I've done this half of my face now. I'm not sure if I put on a very light amount of the product because obviously you can still see a lot peeking through, but luckily I didn't do this full side because I think I have noticed as well that this eyelid, although it's still like quite purpley looking, I feel like my veins and stuff on this one stand out a lot more. Like I feel like it has covered it a little bit. And I will say as well, this pimple, I feel like it's a lot less red than it was before I put the product on. I will say though, like it is very, very natural looking. I feel like it has got a like pore blurring effect because on this side it's much more smooth looking. Like it's not perfect, it doesn't look perfectly smooth, but it's much more smooth than on this side. Like I can definitely see my pores a bit more on this side. I don't know, maybe it wasn't as red as I thought it was, but I feel like it's done a really good job of covering the redness of this spot. And I didn't put a ton here. I'm also worried I didn't put enough on, but anyway, we can add more as we go. I definitely think it's done like a pretty good job. Like it's a very light coverage, like I said, so it's like not gonna give me the best like color correction and stuff like that. But I feel like for how light it is, it's done a pretty good job. I'm actually thinking that for this side, I'm actually going to use my fingers, which I never do. I almost never apply makeup with my fingers, especially foundation. I don't know why. I just like using brushes and now I like using sponges again. But just because it is a tinted moisturizer, I know a lot of people will just pop this on with their fingers. So I'm going to try fingers on this side of my face just to see if it is like better coverage, because I feel like it will be. The brush doesn't actually look like it's taken up much product, but I think I can see like a little bit in there. So it's just kind of like, I don't know how much it's sucked up. I don't know how much it's taken off my face. And also because this is the first time I'm using it, I'm actually not sure how much product I'm supposed to use. I just know with the other Rare Beauty foundation, you actually don't have to use that much product and you get really good coverage. But I'm pretty sure that is at least medium, if not medium to full coverage, and it's like an actual foundation rather than a tinted moisturizer. So obviously that's going to give me a lot better coverage and a lot better color correction as well. However, it is also like thicker, and as I said before, I love like thinner sort of foundations. So with that all being said, let me just rub this in on this side. Hopefully I don't have like a mark left from where I put the foundation. I'm just gonna dot a little bit in my hand, and I feel like I'm gonna do this. Put a bit more. I need some more on my chin as well because I did not put enough on. So I'm just kind of gonna rub that. It feels so weird putting it on with my hands because like this is not something I usually do. It feels very odd to me. I will say though, like I'm absolutely loving how natural it looks. Like it does not look like I have anything on my face. So that we have one layer, this side done with a brush and this side done with my hands. I feel like they look pretty similar, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm thinking the brush did a fine job of popping it on. I'll probably keep using a brush to put this on just because I like using brushes, like I said before, and I feel weird using my hands. But I do feel like maybe this cheek here looks a little less pink than this cheek. My nose is so red. It's so annoying. My nose is so red because like I've been blowing my nose so much. But apart from that, guys, like honestly, I feel like this is just such a nice looking natural foundation. So if you like a very light coverage, just kind of like blurring out like pores and like slight color correction, I think this will honestly be for you. Like I feel like this would be like a really good summer foundation as well, like when the weather's hot and you don't want to wear a lot. Like I can see myself wearing this to work every day, especially in the summer. I'll keep you posted obviously throughout this video to see how I go if I keep liking it. It's definitely, I feel, lighter coverage than the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop. Like I feel like that might have a bit more coverage in it. I actually haven't used it in a while, to be honest with you, because I haven't been doing much, and when I have, I've been fake tanning, so I've been using one of my deeper foundations. So I need to test that one out again to give it a better comparison to this. But so far so good with this. Like I honestly can't get over how natural it looks on my skin. Like it does not look like I have any foundation on, which I feel like will bode well for my smile lines, because for me, I always notice my foundation sitting here and around my nose, which probably won't be a problem today because like I said before, it's probably all going to be gone by the end of the day, but we will see what happens. Oh, also sometimes it like cakes in my under eyes. So anyway, I'm actually just going to put on a second layer now. I'm going to rub some on this face with my hand, and then I'm going to pop some on this side with a brush just to like even out, to make sure it is like evenly covered. So let's do that quickly. There we go, that is 2 layers done. I kind of ended up going all over my face with the brush at the end just to make sure it was all in properly. And I will say as well, this time I put a lot more product closer to my eyes, and at the end I added more on this side because I realized I think I put way more product on this side, so I had to even it out a little bit. I do feel like I did not put enough product around my eyes on the first layer, so I think it's done a better job now of covering up like the purpleness of my under eyes and on my eyelids. It is still obviously very thin though, but it did add extra like color correction doing that layer, so it is something that you can build up if you wanted to. I'm just gonna quickly pop on the rest of my makeup now, except I do have some lip products and a brow product that I want to go through with you, so I'll come back to do those in a bit. Okay guys, so I have finished off the rest of my makeup except for my lips and brows. As I said before, I want to say a few things about the foundation before I continue with those other products. So this look is pretty much what I've been doing every day for work, but obviously I've been using a different foundation. I just changed up a few little things because I wanted to use other Rare Beauty products with it. And I will say I have been using that Rare Beauty concealer every day for work with the Rare Beauty Original foundation, and I do like that concealer, but I do notice it can like be a bit cakey on my face, like especially towards the end of the day. It doesn't always sit the way that I want it to. When I popped this on my under eyes, I noticed it looked like a bit more like dewy, like oily than usual, and it took me a bit to work it into my skin, but I feel like it looks more natural under my eyes than it usually does, which I kind of like. Like it looks like it's soaked in a lot better than it usually does with the other foundation that I use it with. I'm not sure if it's because that is a more full coverage foundation and maybe I'm using too much concealer, but I do feel like it looks really good under my eyes right now. But I will say, like, I popped it on my pimples as well, and here I don't have any concealer on. I don't think I just popped it here, but on my chin it's looking a bit cakey where I've popped the concealer around the pimple. It's hard as well because that's kind of like half dry, half like still a pimple, so that's never going to be easy to cover. But here I had some red spots that I covered, and although it's sitting well now, I feel like I can see it sitting in my pores there, but I think that's actually the concealer. Like I don't think that that's the foundation, because I just feel like the foundation looks so natural. So when I added the concealer, I could really see where I had put it. Like it hadn't sat on my skin properly. Like even around my nose, I put it all around my nose, and then I had a little red spot here, and I've blended it more to this side. I can see because it's sitting in my pores a bit differently on this side than the foundation is sitting here. It looks much more natural, whereas here it's like I can tell that I have makeup on that's not sitting quite right, which I don't love. I do like that concealer, but I do notice with my skin it doesn't always sit quite well. I do feel like it's sitting better with this like tinted moisturizer than it sits with the foundation, but it's still not perfect, I guess, in my like pimply sort of like areas. So I feel like that might sway how this overall foundation like wear test goes. I don't know if this concealer was the right concealer to use today. I just wanted to try it with the Rare Beauty products, but also I use like cream bronzer, cream blush, and cream highlighter, and then I popped powder around these areas. So I haven't used like powder, like blush, bronzer, or highlight on this. I've just used cream and then popped powder like pretty much everywhere, like dabbed it gently over here. But I actually felt like it went on really well over the product, because I do notice sometimes I have like a very vigorous blender in her. So when I have like concealer and foundation here, I feel like by the time I've popped on the product, I've been too rough and I've like kind of removed most of the product from the blemishes. So I actually feel like it still looks decently covered up. Like obviously I have taken off a bit of the product, but to be honest with you, I feel like I've taken off the concealer and the foundation has stayed on. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me, because I still feel like it's like got the similar amount of coverage that I had. But also I noticed when I looked in the mirror with like the different lighting, because I did my makeup in a different room, I did my makeup in the bathroom, and I had better lighting in there than I do here, especially looking like into the shadow of this mirror that I hold in my hand. I felt like the foundation looked really good. Like I felt like my under eyes and my like eyes were better covered just with the foundation than I thought they'd been in here. And I think that's just because like there's so much shadow on my face when I'm looking into that mirror. So I actually feel like it's done a better job than I thought it had. So I am very much enjoying this foundation so far. Let's move forward with the other products I wanted to show you, because this is going to be the longest foundation wear test video ever. This is the only product I didn't get from Sephora that isn't Rare Beauty that I wanted to try today. It is the Flower Beauty Brow Vixen 12-Hour Wear Tattoo Effect Stain in the shade Soft Brown. So this is a like brow texture, which I have never ever used before, and I bought it a little while ago from Chemist Warehouse, where I bought a few Flower Beauty things that I'd wanted to try, or like some other colors in products that I loved. But I bought 2 brow products because they'd released 2 new brow products since I'd last bought their brow products, and I wanted to try both. So this one I wanted to try today because I can't use 2 in the one video when I film that Flower video eventually. So I thought I'd chuck this on today just to experiment with like a texture as well. So this will be interesting to see how we go, because as I said, I've never used one of these before, so hopefully I don't stuff up. Also, the color is like, it's not as like deep as I thought it would be. I guess it's soft brown. So anyway, let's chuck this on. Hopefully it goes okay. I'm just kind of like dusting it through my eyebrows, like as if I was drawing on more strands, just because I've seen people when they use these sorts of markers, they do this sort of thing. On the package it says you can actually like fill out areas fully that are sparse and like shape the bottom of your eyebrow as well, like if you wanted to, but I just don't want to go too far and scare myself. So I'm starting off light and we will build it up as we go. So hopefully this doesn't look too crazy. I feel like it looks very natural so far. Like that's it done and that's it not done. I might even try like kind of lightly stamping out the bottom here, just dusting it across to make it look a bit straighter. Okay, I'm gonna try and do this side now and we'll see how we go. Okay guys, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this product. So instead of it making me look completely insane, I feel like it's done a really good job of like making my eyebrows look lovely and natural. However, I definitely don't feel like much product is coming out, and I'm having to push quite hard to get little bits of product coming out, and it's making my eyebrow, like my skin, go red because I'm pushing very hard and rubbing it very hard. But I also notice like now, like it's like dried out or something. Like sometimes a lot comes out, but like if I push lightly, like nothing comes out. But then if I push hard, it comes out. It's like it's not coming out the tip, it's like it's coming out from down here, which I feel like should not be the case, because you're not going to want to push really hard on your eyebrow and draw it out. I don't know if I'm just using this wrong or if this product's just not the best, because I know a lot of people love these sorts of brow markers, but I've never seen any reviews of this one in particular. Saying that though, I do actually really like the way that it's made my eyebrows look like nice and natural. Also, I realized after I was filling them out that I should have brushed them through first, so they're a bit funny looking. I am going to add gel, but I just am not 100% sold on this product. I'm gonna have to keep experimenting with this and let you guys know like at a later date like how I feel completely, because right now, even though I like the way it's made my eyebrows look, the fact that it's not coming out the tip and I'm having to push so hard to get it to come out on the back of my hand is just a little bit worrying to me, because I feel like if you pushed that hard to get it out, that's how you'd go overboard, which is kind of what I was worried about doing in the first place. Everything like new I try with makeup, I know you have to practice with, and I know these markers, like some people find them really difficult when they start, and like this to me wasn't difficult, but I am not impressed by it. Right now I'm like, I do feel like it has made them a bit hard though. Like if anything, I feel like it's really sticking to my actual eyebrows. Like it isn't meant to be like an eyebrow like hair dye rather than like a skin tint, because I thought it would be more like a skin tint. So maybe I've just not realized what the actual product is. It says use the angled wide edge of the applicator to outline your brow shape and fill in the sparse areas. Then using the chisel tip, feather-like hair strokes to taper your arch with precision. So use the wide angled edge. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Wait, which one's the wide angle? What does this even mean? Maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing, guys. I think I'm doing it wrong. So I think I was supposed to be using the side, because I guess that's where the most of the product was coming out, as I just said. Oh god, I'm gonna get over it. See, this is what I'm worried about though, because like now I'm using a lot of the product. Oh god, how am I supposed to do this side? Oh. So definitely if you use the side, which I feel like I'm using, but I feel like this can't be right because it's not that easy. You get a lot more product out, but is this the crazed too far look that I am going to get? Possibly. Also, I just don't know, maybe this shade is like, because it's like soft brunette, which maybe it's a bit lighter than I'm used to going, but I know going lighter for your brows isn't a bad thing, because I know it's a bit more natural looking and it like softens them up a bit. Oh, that was way too much. Tip it away. Okay, yeah, look at that. That's definitely worked way better. So I'm just using it wrong is the issue. But to be honest with you, I'm still not 100% sold on it, because I just don't feel like that was the easiest. And again, it took me a long time, and usually it does not take me this long to do my bloody eyebrows. I do think it looks good. This is where I'm like, oh, I think it looks good, but I'm also like, oh, but it was very difficult for me to use. But again, practice makes perfect, right? So maybe it's just something that I need to keep trying. I actually have bought another sort of like texture like this as well, so when I try that one out, it'll be interesting to see if I prefer it to this, if it's much different. I hope I haven't made my brows look too hectic. Okay, I need to stop. I've been doing this for so long. This is what we're going with, which like I don't think they look horrible. They definitely don't look the same. So we can test out how well this wears as well, because it says it's supposed to last for 12 hours. I'm not going to be wearing my makeup for 12 hours, but we'll test out how well it wears. I'm going to chuck on an eyebrow gel and I'll be back to do the lip segment, which I'm so excited for. Okay guys, so I have added gel over them now, and they definitely don't look too horrible. I think I might have made them a bit too big is the only thing, and like this side I've brought in better than this side. Like I've missed a section here which I'm not going to fill in now because I can't be bothered. And also I will say on this side as well, there are parts that I think because I hadn't brushed it out, I didn't realize they were sparse, so I haven't filled them out as well here, whereas this side I think I just went a bit more crazy when I was doing it, so this one's actually filled out a lot better than this side. Now that I've put gel in as well, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. Like I still am jury's out on this product, but like with the gel I feel like I look a bit mad. I think I've just made them too big. I think they look pretty good. I definitely think it's something that I'm gonna have to practice with. Still not sure. Let's just put my fringe down and then I'll stop staring at them so we can move forward with this video because that took way too long. Let's move on to the final two products that I'm going to be testing out in this video for you, so we can close down this part and I can just come back to like the reviews of the foundation throughout the day. So let's do that. The first thing that I want to go through with you is this. It is the Rare Beauty Kind Words Matte Lip Liner in the shade Worthy, which is a waterproof lip liner that lines, defines, and shapes lips with creamy matte color. So you actually twist the pencil up from the bottom, and there is a sharpener, just like the tip of the pencil is actually a sharpener. So when you twist it up, if it gets flat, you can just pop this on the end and twist it around and it will sharpen it back to a point like this. I'm so excited to try this product because I actually really like lip liners. I haven't been wearing them a lot lately because I like never go out and I always end up just grabbing lip balms for my lips when I go out now for some reason. But anyway, let's chuck this on. I did not realize how dry my lips were until I popped that on just then. Not that that was drying at all. It was just looking at my lips that close in the mirror. I was like, oh, I actually have like a flake of skin. And that's because I have a cold. And a lot of the time I've had to be breathing through my mouth because my nose is blocked. If you see skin on my lips and the product looks like it's sitting a bit funny, it's because they are so dry. I apologize. But saying that, I really like this product. It went on very, very easily. I did accidentally go a bit far here. You can kind of see where it's pink. Like I went a bit over the edge and I tried to blur it back, which usually I can with lip liners. However, it looks like it's kind of stained it, which is a little annoying, but that makes me think it's a very, very good, like long wearing lip liner, which is good. It just means that next time I use it, I will have to be a bit more careful. And boy, will I be using this because this color is freaking amazing. This is like one of my favorite sorts of like natural shades. So I think this one's like a rosy mauve or like a nude mauvey pink color. I think that's what it was listed as. And I love it. I think it's freaking stunning. And I honestly, at this point, I know I've just put it on, would definitely consider buying other shades in this because it honestly feels like I've got like nothing on my lips. They're like the tiniest bit tacky and like it feels like a little powdery, but it doesn't feel drying, went on so easily. And like I would be surprised if this didn't wear well. So I'm excited. The next product I have to try on is of course the matching lipstick, which is the Rare Beauty Kind Words matte lipstick, also in the shade Worthy. It is a weightless, buttery smooth matte lipstick that lays down comfortable color in one swipe. And it matches perfectly, I believe, well, it should match perfectly because it's the same shade as the lipstick, which it does look like it to me if you ask. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same color on my hand. But anyway, let's tuck this on top to see how it feels. Okay, so that went on so easily. It's very creamy. It feels like quite thick when I'm putting it on, but wearing it now, again, it almost feels like I'm not wearing anything. It's a little bit slippy, but it just feels slippy in like a hydrating way, if that makes sense. So it doesn't feel like I'm wearing like something like that's like, you know, disgusting and like slimy all over my lips. It feels really, really nice and I really like it. And again, just wearing it for like 5 seconds, I feel like I 100% would buy more colors in this range because I love it. And I love this shade so much. Guys, I'm so excited. I was so excited when they released these. And now I'm so excited that I really like them. So definitely not disappointed with this product because, yeah, I am freaking loving it. So that is all the stuff that I wanted to try out with you today. I'll come back a few times to show you the look of my foundation, which actually reminds me, I will quickly show you this is how it looks right now. I've been wearing this for, I'm guessing, like an hour because it has taken me so long to film this video. So this is like the hour point, which I think it looks quite good. I will say I did notice before, I think there's a tiny bit sitting in my smile line here. This side's good so far. This side I'm just noticing a tiny crease here, which like is a lot better than most foundations, to be honest with you. This one on this side for me is a lot worse than this one on this side. I must smile crookedly, but the rest of my face I think actually looks really good. And I am really liking this foundation so far. Anyway, I will be back in a little bit to show you how it's all going. Okay guys, so it has been about 3 to 3.5 hours since I put on this foundation. I apologize for the lighting change. It is now like really dark outside and I can tell my light is doing something weird, but unfortunately I think that's just because before I had natural light and now I do not. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick update because I have noticed some things about what it's doing. Okay, so what I have noticed just then when I looked in the mirror is that I have panda eyes going on, and I am wearing a tubing mascara, which I've been wearing every day to work for like the last 2 weeks, and every time I've worn it in the past, I do not believe it has caused me to get panda eyes, which I get panda eyes a lot, like from most mascaras, but using this tubing mascara has prevented me from getting that. So I'm a bit confused as to why I have gotten panda eyes using this foundation. And I do want to say as well, like when I put on my concealer before, I said that it looked different to how it usually went on, and I do feel like it did look like almost like oily, like it was like dewy, but it could have been like oily, but I'm not 100% sure. But that makes me think it, like this, the fact that it's done this now makes me think that it was oily. I'm just gonna clear that up a little bit. Apart from that though, I feel like it's looking pretty good. I've tried really hard not to blow my nose, but you can see it is pink, and I feel like I'm gonna have to blow it soon. I feel like I've knocked it on some things. I have drunk coffee as well, and I ate my lunch, so there's a possibility that drinking the coffee, the mug was touching my nose. And eating my lunch, I feel like maybe I've lost a little bit of foundation around my mouth, but not a lot, surprisingly. Also, this freaking lipstick, like I said, I've drunk coffee and I ate my lunch, and look at this, like still intact. It does not look like I've done anything. Like it looks like I've just put it on, really. And I really like the way that it looks. Like it still feels super comfortable, feels the same way it does when I put it on, I'm pretty sure. Slightly creamy, slightly powdery. Very, very good wearing. Like it's been 3 and a bit hours, like I said before. And I've eaten and drank and what? I do remember though before I didn't do like the kiss test on the back of my hand, so I'll quickly do that now with this. But honestly, like it came off a little bit on my mug, but like very small considering. It's so barely there. I don't even know if you could call it there. Oh, you can see it better in this lighting because for some reason it is washing me the hell out. I don't even know what's happening with this lighting. It's horrible. I apologize for it. I do feel like it looks a hell of a lot more dewy now though, especially like you can see here. I can see it reflecting in my camera, and here. I don't want to say it's oil, but it could be oil. And also though, I use the Rare Beauty setting spray and that does make me a bit more dewy, so it could be that too. And I have been using a new sunscreen this week, and I don't think I've put makeup on with that new sunscreen. So also there is a possibility that that is causing this excess oil like that's moving around my mascara and like making me super dewy. So it could be that, but I'm just not 100% sure. And because that's like a foundation review, I'm gonna have to blame the foundation a little bit. But apart from that, it's looking really good. Like here looks freaking amazing. It is sticking a little bit between my eyebrows, but nothing too horrible. And my smile lines have not really changed that much, to be honest with you. I feel like there's still a tiny little line on the left side, and it looks like my right side still doesn't have any sticking in it, which is amazing. I do feel like it looks really good, and this lipstick and lip liner is super impressive, like I said. And my brows are holding up well. Anyway, I will be back in another little bit to film another clip. Okay guys, it has been about 5 hours now, maybe 5.5 hours, and the foundation I feel like doesn't look any different from the last update I did. I feel like it's still looking pretty good. The pan dry hasn't come back as far as I can tell, and I feel like this smile line is staying the exact same. Also, this lipstick is still wearing well. I haven't eaten anything, I don't think, since the last time, but I've been drinking a lot of water, so I have been using my mouth. But honestly guys, I'm pretty freaking impressed with this. Like, I still look quite dewy, but like I don't think I look any more dewy than before, and I don't think it's like making my foundation come off or anything like that. I'm not gonna lie though, I haven't been doing a lot, just watching television. But anyway, I'm pretty impressed. But anyway, I wanted to do this like update now because I'm about to have dinner and I feel like I'm probably gonna lose a hell of a lot of makeup around here, so I wanted to just show you how it looks before I am about to lose it, or you know, maybe I won't lose it and I'll be pretty impressed. But anyway, I will be back in a little bit to show you the final look before I wash it off at the end of the day. Okay guys, so it is now pretty much 11 o'clock at night, so I have been wearing this for 8-ish hours and I think it's actually held up pretty freaking well. I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like most of my face looks really good still. Ooh, I think I have food on my face, whoops. If we take a closer look, I do notice there is caking a bit between my eyebrows and around my nose. My nose has been like running like a bloody tap for like the last hour as well, so I have lost some product around here. They're just on the outside around here and here. It's a little bit cakey. I feel like my smile line's still not super bad though, but I might have actually lost a bit when I ate dinner. You know what though? I feel like it's still there, like my smile line. I don't think I actually lost that much foundation around my mouth. I will say though, I do feel like I look a bit oilier than I'm used to looking here, like by the end of the day with makeup, and I think it's because most of my foundations are like sort of matte, so I feel like I'm kind of like oily here. But I'm not gonna lie as well, I do feel like when I use the Rare Beauty setting mist, I feel like it's kind of like an oilier sort of spray. At least that's how I feel when I put it on my skin. Like it kind of makes my skin feel oily. So I'm not sure if it's just like a combination of all these things. And usually it doesn't affect my foundation as much because it's like more of a matte foundation. Whereas this is like a tinted moisturizer. So it's already like super hydrating. But actually just like where the foundation is, I think it looks so good still. But the areas where I'm noticing caking are the areas where I put my concealer. Like, I mean, they're the areas that it's gonna cake as well, so it kind of makes sense. But I always notice caking with this concealer, and I'm wondering if it's just the concealer. Surely the foundation would probably cake, but like really it's not doing a horrible job at all here compared to what it usually would. Like my smile lines get like pretty, like this one especially gets like really caked in there, which is why I like lighter foundations, because they don't sit in the smile lines as much. But overall I am very much enjoying this foundation. Like I think it looks really good. I honestly feel like it's done a really good job, and I'd be intrigued to see the next time I use it, if I use like a different product under my eyes, if this mascara will still run, because that was obviously really strange for me. I also wonder though if that mascara might be coming to the end of its life, because I have been using it for a little while now, but also I find that a lot of mascaras that are good, when I've used them a lot, I notice they start to run more. So could be that, or it could just be like this like foundation and like concealer mix has made me like a bit more oily under my eyes than I'm used to. But overall I actually really liked this. I think it's very good for like a very natural, very like light sort of foundation. You can see it on my face, like it's not the most like full coverage foundation ever, so if that like bothers you, then I don't think you'd like this foundation. But if you don't really mind and you just like, you know, just a light like thing to pop on your face before you go out the door, then this definitely could be the product for you. What I'm gonna say is just so far so good. I am enjoying it, and I will keep you posted as to how I go wearing it in the future. But honestly, I feel like it's not sitting in my lines under my eyes or anything like that. Like it's barely sitting there. It's not sitting there at all. The only issues I'm having is just slight caking here and here, which always happens to me with whatever product I'm using. And also because I've got a pimple that's like half scab, half pimple, makeup never sits on that well for me. So I feel like it's hard to put makeup on that sort of thing. But anyway, it is super late and I have talked for so long in this video, so I'm gonna end it now before I keep talking forever. So anyway guys, that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of the products I used, let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you would like to like this video or subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that too. And hopefully I will see you soon. Today's video is going... Hi guys. I was so excited when this put... Then I did tweeze some the other day, like get rid of them on eyebrow. Whoops. They're like the tiniest but tacky. And if you would like to like this channel, wait. So anyway,